If you're trying to save money at home or when buying or improving a home, first consider the fuel you are using. This will influence both the sustainability of the energy use and the cost. Electricity is now increasingly a sustainable source of heat and travel. However, it is not yet the cheapest form of heating at home, particularly if you don't invest in a competent designer. Fabric first is always the first step in design of a sustainable and energy-efficient building. Adequate type and thickness of insulation in the floors, walls, ceilings is very important, as is adequate provision for heat recovery of heat loss from the air and reduction of unnecessary drafts. If going for a heat pump, it is necessary to determine the fabric, ventilation, thermal bridging and losses from pipework, as well as the local climate to adequately size a heat pump to run efficiently. It is necessary to consider the responsiveness of a heating system. For example, an underfloor heating system buried in concrete may take a significant time period to raise in temperature as compared to a timber floor or radiators. Triple glazing has significant benefits. For example, some triple glazing units in the peak of winter will allow significant heat gains to a space whilst reducing the heat loss, sometimes acting as a thermal diode, with more heat entering than leaving. However, triple glazing does reduce solar gains, so it has to be placed with intelligence. Energy storage is increasingly becoming more important. Sometimes, if you have electric heating and photovoltaic panels, even converting electricity to heat using an immersion can be cost-effective. Energy tariffs are increasingly important, matching them to both heating system and batteries, and now vehicles can bring significant savings. Thermal imaging cameras are becoming increasingly affordable and can be utilized to identify things such as significant heat loss from fabric heating systems, ventilation, and detecting leaks in wiring and other heat transfer. Solar PV systems are now much cheaper, but the tariffs and benefits are greatly reduced. North-facing roofs are not to be considered. Significant shading both on the roof and around it should be discounted as a viable site. Free maps are available online, such as Global Solar Atlas. Info alongside the area of the roof divided by the pane size and by 2.5 to estimate the number of panels, which can be multiplied by the panel peak wattage to guesstimate peak power and get the potential generation. Better results are obtained by deducting the fraction of shading in the sky from 1 and multiplying it by the overall generation. Ultimately, you want little shading and south or horizontal sloping panels. But if you desire generation at a particular time of the day only, you can utilize panels on the west or east rooftops also. You are unlikely to meet all your energy demands from only solar panels on your roof, but it may be a significant contributor during the summer months when the sun is high in the sky. If installed correctly, you may get tariffs for generation that may reduce your winter bill. Heat recovery is increasingly being used in the new builds on air and in water, but again, these things are often installed in domestic properties for the effect they have on energy calculations, necessary for building control rather than for energy savings. Controlling your heating system is important. A system should have a thermostat, or multiple, for heating and hot water, preventing the system from heating above 19 degrees. A malfunctioning heating system can often significantly impact your bill, prolonging and wasting the heat produced. Is the primary pipework between the heating system/water heating system and where it is being distributed insulated? Are the thermostatic valves working? Are the pumps and motorized valves being controlled correctly? If your answer is no, an electrician or a plumber may be able to help, but you really need an engineer or the manufacturer to speak to you or come and have a look at it and advise. Free heat is always good heat. Glazed spaces which have overheating controls to allow escape of excessive heat or transfer systems to store it in the building fabric are always good, provided you are not transferring warm, moist air onto cold surfaces where condensation can occur. The sun. Around 1,000 watts per square meter land on the Earth during full sun. This is free heat that can be extracted either via water or via air. If you have any ground or unused roof space that has not been used for photovoltaics, this is a resource that can be utilized. Land around a house compared to the house's size is one of the most significant resources a home or a commercial property can have in the future. If you have land, you are in a lucky position. For any further advice, please subscribe to my song and poetry channel, and I'm happy to try to answer any questions you post. I've had over 20 years working in energy and sustainability, and want to help you with any of the questions you have. Poetry and song are just one of many hobbies. Please also view and subscribe to Noteworthy to ask more questions.